Hey, welcome to the Micheaux Mission. 2 men, 1 podcast, every black film ever made. My name is Len, aka the Bat Tribble. And as always, I am joined by my partner.
Hey, this is Vincent Williams.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are continuing down that track of the month of May, where we ask the eternal question, Mother, may I have another bad black movie?
Oh boy.
And Mom, in her eternal wisdom, has given us a doozy tonight.
Oh boy.
As Vincent has
Yes,
selected for our reviewing pleasure, Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes.
In the movie that made her wretch. It is THEODORE REX.
THEODORE Rex.
From 1995.
Yeah. You notice we've stayed in the 90s. We have stayed in the 90s.
Yes. When you chose 2 movies for 95, I said, well, I'm going to do one better and go to 1996.
Yeah.
So we are right in the pocket.
We are right in the pocket
Of some bad stuff.
Woo.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Woo.
Oh boy, it's right. But we're here and we're going to bring it to you tonight straight from the Video Content Factory here in Manayunk, PA, Philadelphia's premier video podcast plaza. And shout out to everyone out there who are watching us as we stream live to YouTube, and everyone out there in the chat. I see each and every one of you. What up, missionaries?
Good evening, one and all.
Vincent, how you doing, my friend?
I am fine.
That's cool.
Doing well.
You started before the cameras turned on. You were telling me about you had just started Yellow Jackets.
Yes.
You've been roped in.
Well, I didn't say that.
No, you did not say that.
I did not say that.
To be fair,
in fact, I didn't say I was ready to talk about it.
No, you didn't.
I've not watched enough of it.
You've only watched 2 episodes.
To speak publicly about it.
However,
but I have started it.
You started it, and while you weren't ready to talk about it, and he'll give us more next week, ladies and gentlemen.
Or not.
Because you did at least like enough of it to say, I'm pretty confident when we leave here, I'm gonna go home and watch some
another
more
episode, right?
So it means that it's getting
maybe, but it could be a situation like Robert De Niro in Goodfellas when he told Henry, "Remember that thing? Never mind.
Oh yeah.
Remember they were gonna murder old boy?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, never mind. Of course, that was a fake out though.
Well,
that was a fake out.
It wasn't a fake out because in that moment he was telling the truth. It's just that after the robbery, he killed everybody.
No.
Spoiler.
No, this actually, see, now you got me there. Goodfellas, he says that was after the robbery because it was the guy it was the clothier guy.
No, right. He wanted his cut.
He wanted his cut from the robbery.
But he wanted it right then.
Right.
And then when De Niro gave out the cuts, remember when everybody was wilding out? Remember my man bought his girl?
Yeah.
That's when De Niro killed everybody.
No.
So then he got caught up in that killing. Like he was going to get killed before because he was getting on his nerves.
Yes.
But then
I could have sworn that was after the robbery.
No. It was all after the robbery. So my man set it up.
Yeah.
De Niro's character said, "I'm gonna hold on to the money."
Welcome to the Goodfellas podcast.
Right.
Go ahead.
Said, "I'm gonna hold on to the money."
Right.
Dude was being such an ass about it.
Right. All of us ass because he wanted his money.
Because he wanted money. And then that's when De Niro said, "Okay, I'm gonna kill this dude." Told Henry, get the lime, whatever. Right. Then they had the good night.
Yes, and he said, "Never mind."
And he said, "Never mind." Some time passed. He gave everybody, or something happened. I don't know if people got a little bit of money or a little bit of whatever, but then that's when everyone started wilding out. And De Niro said, "Be cool." And dude bought a Cadillac, and then the other dude with the fantastic hair bought his wife the fur coat.
Right.
And then that's when De Niro started wilding out.
Right.
And killed everybody.
Right. But the clothier guy, if I remember the chronology correctly, and I could be wrong.
Yes.
He was getting on his nerves.
Yes.
They're at the card game.
Yes.
And where he basically has already said, that he's
right. They've already right. It's just we won't do this.
And then he gives Henry the word like, yeah, never mind.
Because they're having a good night.
They're having a good night.
Yes.
But then they leave the card game that night and get in the car, and he's still going on about stuff.
No,
and that's when I thought that's when dude stabbed him.
No, that's later. He gets caught in all of the killings.
Okay. All right, you're probably right.
I mean, the only way you can actually figure it out. Now we got to go watch Goodfellas.
We have to,
right?
And we'll have to answer this next week.
Right. But anyway, go ahead. We move on. Because I'm not ready.
You're not ready to talk about it?
Not ready. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm ready to talk about.
What are you ready to talk about?
And I can't remember whether I talked about it here or on another podcast.
All right. I'll let you know because this is my only one. So I know for a fact.
Are you watching Silo on Apple TV?
Oh my God. Lynn?
Yes?
I hadn't said anything to you about it. Silo is actually my favorite science fiction book of the past literally 15 years.
See, I know nothing.
So I was so excited. Like, I'm so excited about it because I love the book so much.
Okay.
That I haven't said anything about the show because I don't know if the show is as good as I think it is. Because I know what's going on from the book.
Oh, so you are watching it?
Oh, I'm all over Silo.
Silo is good, man. Silo.
You like it?
I'm enjoying it.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing.
I love it.
You ain't seen you.
Okay.
You seen nothing.
Well,
You see nothing.
Then that's great because I am loving it after 3 episodes. Silo is a show on Apple TV, ladies and gentlemen. Stars Rebecca Ferguson and David Oyelowo, and it's a post-apocalyptic.
Rashida Jones. Common.
Okay, yeah, Common.
What's my man's name?
Who?
Tim Robbins.
Oh, okay.
How you forget Tim Robbins?
You know why? Because there's only 3 episodes so far, and he's like barely in it, which is just like just waiting for him to get his moment. But it's a show that deals with
they didn't hire Tim Robbins,
right? Just walk around and talk shit, right? So wait a minute. So it's a show, ladies and gentlemen. It's a post-apocalyptic,
maybe.
Perhaps, right. See, you don't need to tell them that.
Because you're saying things that you are inferring. They haven't said it in the show, though.
Well, they've kind of said it.
All they've said in the show, there are 10,000 people in this silo, this underground silo. That goes down 144 floors.
Right.
No one knows who built the silo. No one knows how they got there.
But they've been there.
For at least, I think they said, maybe 150 years.
I thought like 140, 150
that they
years.
know of. Because there was some type of event 150 years ago.
Right.
Where the records were lost. Mm-hmm. But they assume that there was some time before then.
Right, of course. Even though it is seemingly illegal to talk.
It is illegal to talk about anything from before,
or even have any relic of that time.
And the biggest punishment you can get is to go cleaning. They call it going to clean because the silo, while it is underground, has a camera that is facing the outside world, which is radioactive and poisonous.
Right.
But as time goes on, because of the atmosphere, the lens gets dirty.
Right.
So that their form of execution is you have to go clean.
You're right.
They call it going to clean because people go outside in their outfits.
Yeah, because they get like
they're right. But the atmosphere is so bad that it breaks down the outfit and people die. But before they die, usually what happens is that they clean the lens of the camera so that people can see.
Right.
And one of the biggest crimes that you can commit
is to
ask to go outside.
Right.
I want to go outside.
Right. Because by rule they will not deny you.
Right.
You second you say it,
Right. Exactly.
out you go.
Exactly.
Because they don't want that train of thought even infecting the life in the silo.
And I will say this, what I said to my friend who I sort of gingerly suggested this to, and he is not a science fiction person per se, but he's like my John le Carre political thriller, kind of Cold War thriller guy. And what I told him is that if they follow the book, which they are following, it seems like, it is more of a political thriller set in a scientific context.
Well, you kind of get that idea because the whole mystery of the judicial that they talk about, which is only, again, in 3 episodes, really been alluded to.
Right, you haven't even seen any of it. Right, you know the dudes in the black work for judicial, including Common.
Right.
Which I have to say, this is the most I've liked Common.
Well, this is the best use of Common so far. Because he ain't done nothing.
Well, I thought
Except
that was
eat a strawberry.
I thought that was a good scene with him and his son.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was a good scene.
I mean, he's acted enough that he should be able to pull that off, and he pulls it off.
I mean, I guess. I'm not calling nobody out, but these people been acting for 30 years then.
Well, fair enough. So, but no, I am enjoying Silo. I'm enjoying Silo a great deal.
Dog. I am so happy to hear that.
Yeah. I'm really liking that. I'm looking forward to it every Friday. Beth Brown in the chat says, I feel like I have seen Silo, but I know that I have not read it before. Was there another movie or show that was kind of like this? I don't know of another movie.
I know the video game Fallout is like this a bit.
Yeah, I guess kind of.
Where it's kind of this underground silo thing. And then you come out. There
was this show, it was only 1 season. A Canadian show that did make it to Netflix. And the name of it began with an E. And I know I watched it on the humbug thinking that it was actually a new show. And it had to deal with all of these people who had rocketed in space in like this big space station that was going to a new Earth. Right? And this murder mystery happens on the space station, and they try to discover, who killed who. But the space station had been in space for like hundreds of years.
Right.
So that they're almost generations on this.
Right, so it's like a generation ship.
As it looks for this new planet. And spoiler for a show that is at least 5 years since I've seen it, and it was, who knows how old it was when it hit Netflix. It was only 1 season. You learn at the end of the season that the space station actually never shot into space.
Oh, you're talking about the show with our man from Dear White People.
Yeah, he's in.
I didn't know that was Canadian.
I think it was a Canadian show.
Yeah, I thought that came on here.
It came.
I think that was a Showtime show.
Was it a Showtime?
Pretty sure that was a Showtime
then maybe
show.
it was a Canadian production. Maybe it was a Canadian production. Because I remember looking at the credits and it was like all like Canada.
And I think you're misremembering. I think they tell us pretty early on.
No.
Because there's a whole plot on Earth. There's a whole plot with somebody basically.
Yeah, but I don't think that.
Because remember, somebody gets kicked out of the spaceship or and then
I don't think. But I seem to remember that wasn't early on, or maybe I just didn't finish the first season like I thought I did.
Because I was angry because it felt like such a cheat. Like I thought it was such an interesting idea.
The show itself. Yeah, so did I. And to discover it after it was done, and I was like, oh man, I feel like.
And I guess that is kind of like it, but Silo, and I will say it is the world building is impeccable.
Oh, it is beautiful.
And part of it is
so this world building is like it is with the book.
Part of the reason I love the book so much is that it really is thoughtful about if human beings had lived underground for 150 years, so 3 or 4 generations, what would our culture look like? and it was just very thoughtful, and you know, it's like Wool is the first book, then it's like Dust, then there are some other, it's like at least 4 books, but I'm really excited about Silo, and I'm glad you're excited, and I'm so happy I found a Silo friend. So
yes, you have a friend in the Silo.
I have a friend in the Silo, and you know, it's Apple. So like whether we're talking about this or Hello Tomorrow or Severance or Foundation, like Apple is just throwing money at these set designers and these costumers. Yeah. Like, it's just beautiful to look at.
And you just named 4 shows that the money is on the screen, but they're completely different in look and feel.
And as a science fiction fan, and you know, we're going to talk about a shitty science fiction film tonight, it is so refreshing to see this type of budget on a project like this.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. Did you, real quick, did you stick with Hello Tomorrow?
I'm burning it off.
Okay, just
but I really am, like, I'm 100% watching Hello Tomorrow because of the retrofuturism.
Right.
Like, I'm 100% bored by it. I like a lot of the actors, but none of their performances are really doing anything for me.
Yeah.
But the costumes and the design absolutely blow. Like, there's something every episode that blows me away.
Got you.
From a design sense. So.
All right.
Whew, I was not ready for Silo. Oh, Lynn, I'm so jealous that you have no idea what's coming.
I don't. I'm looking forward to it, though. I definitely am looking forward to it. All right. Let us get down to it. Let's get into the show, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
And it is time for Missives from the Missionaries.
Why is my picture on there?
I don't think they can hear you just yet. So if you want to ask that again.
Missives from the Missionaries.
Missives.
I'm not sure why my picture is on there.
Because.
Like, am I the mailman?
Because every time we do.
Right. I say Missives from the Missionaries.
Exactly.
But it's not my segment.
Well, it kind of is. It kind of is your segment. Because what happens?
People write both of us.
They write both of us, but I read the email.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
And then you answer them.
Go ahead.
So there you go. All right. Sean Simmons says, that's not weird at all. I think it was weird.
I just don't want y'all to think like I was saying, oh yeah, I put my face on it. That'll sell it to the people.
It does sell it.
Go ahead.
And it's your voice on there.
Just go ahead.
It is your voice.
It could have been a picture of you reading it.
Well, no, but it's your voice. Saying Mrs. from the Missionaries.
Yes, all right, go ahead.
We need that.
What's going on?
You've branded it.
Yes,
This is your brand.
All right.
This is your segment.
Yes.
Let's do Vincent's segment, ladies and gentlemen. Matter of fact, Dylan, bring that music back.
Oh my God.
Bring the music back.
Will you just read the
and
letter
let's continue
so we can get to Theodore Rex?
Missives from the Missionaries.
Yes. When it's hot. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling.
Missives from the Missionaries, ladies and gentlemen. We heard from Ellis Heron.
Hey, what's up, Ellis?
Who said, prepare to go solo. Hey, fellas, I just listened to your review of Solo. Even though I never saw the movie, I remember the marketing for it clear as day. The TV commercial marketed Solo like it was following in the footsteps of the 96 blockbusters The Rock, Twister, and Independence Day by saying, this summer you've been rocked, twisted, and alienated. Now prepare to go solo.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was just as bad as you can imagine. So needless to say, it didn't motivate me to go see the movie. I will say that your review was spot on with comparing Solo to a mix of the Terminator and Rambo. But one other character comes to mind, Wolverine. Wolverine started off as a weapon who was intended to get his memory wiped as depicted in another bad movie, X-Men Origins, Wolverine. Another funny parallel is that Hugh Jackman played well in ensemble movies too. The difference is his character was the most interesting part of those movies as opposed to when Mario Van Peebles is on screen. Very true. Lastly, in regards to your discussion on the Expendables series, I agree Expendables 2 was the best one. However, Wesley Snipes and Antonio Banderas were only in Expendables 3, but Jean-Claude Van Damme was in Expendables 2. And even though Snipes and Banderas were only in the worst of the 3, I can see why you thought they had a good time in the movie because they were easily the highlights. That's all from your boy Ellis Heron from Fort Worth. P.S. I'm looking forward to your eventual May review of my guilty pleasure, Chill Factor.
Well, not this May, but it is on the list.
Oh, it is on the list, yeah.
It is on the list. Thank you, Ellis.
Thank you, Ellis. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I like the comparison to Wolverine, except that Wolverine at least was a good character as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so like,
and you know, when Wolverine debuted, he wasn't really a knockoff.
No.
Of everything. Like, again, everything about Solo just feels really kind of slapped together from other things.
Yeah, just a hodgepodge of trying to find things. We also heard from Sean Simmons.
Hey, what's up, Sean?
I asked the question out on social media, ladies and gentlemen, for what bad black movie is perfect for the cookout.
Okay.
We heard from a number of people, but Sean Simmons wrote us.
Okay.
And he suggested Fat Beach, which was very close to being chosen for a May review for us. You could do a whole month on bad black movies starring Brian Hooks.
That is very true, actually. That is very true.
What's not ridiculously funny about this movie? It also co-stars our favorite smoking crack student from Lean On Me, Jermaine Hopkins. Shout out to the class of 1989. A cameo of Coolio. Spring Break at the Beach. It's just a dumb and bad yet fun movie.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it as well. I've definitely seen it more than once, and most times it was with friends. I suggest a 2-movie episode dedicated to Brian Hooks, Fat Beach, and 3 Strikes, another.
You know what, Sean? We actually tried to do 3 Strikes.
And, what was the deal with that?
It wasn't streaming.
Yeah, we couldn't find it. It wasn't even on like YouTube.
Right, and the thing about 3 Strikes that was interesting was I think that is DJ Pooh's follow-up to Friday. Mm-hmm. Yeah, where I believe he wrote 3 Strikes.
Yeah, I kind of remember that as well.
Yeah.
Our man Mo Poplar.
What's up, Mo?
At Ashy Feet. He suggested 2 movies for the cookout.
Okay.
All About the Benjamins.
All About the Benjamins.
Which stars...
Fun movie.
That's
Mike Epps and Ice Cube. Their post
Friday
next film. Friday film.
And another Cube movie.
Okay.
Anaconda.
They got snakes out there that big? Thank you very much. Woo! Yes! Yes! I've been waiting for years for the opportunity to do my Ice Cube and Anaconda imitation.
Jesus.
They got snakes out there that big? And scene.
I can see both of them at the cookout.
Oh, Anaconda is fantastic.
It is a stupid, silly, dumb-ass movie, but it's just...
There's no way Jennifer Lopez or Ice Cube still talk about Anaconda?
Oh, I bet they do.
All right, maybe they do.
Because it is a movie that's become like a cult classic.
It is.
They are still getting good residual checks off of it.
Apparently, there are snakes out there that big.
Yes. Big enough to wrap around John Voight.
Oh, I forgot John Voight is an anaconda.
I don't know what accent is in there. But
man.
John Voight's in there doing some kind of accent.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually never saw All About the Benjamins, so I can't speak to that.
It's you know. It's fun.
Okay. Chris Morales suggested a movie actually called The Cookout that stars Danny Glover, Jennifer Lewis, and Queen Latifah.
I actually remember that. It's not bad.
I don't remember that movie.
I mean, it's fun.
I don't know if I want to be at a cookout and watch a movie about cookout.
You don't want to be at a cookout?
Because I don't want their food to be better, look better than my food.
Well, you know, it's the gauntlet is thrown down then.
What?
You got to make sure that your food looks better.
Okay, but you always don't have it. Yeah, but it's movie food, so their food always looks
better.
You know, man, like, cause their cookout, like, it looked like it's basically like it's like the world's best baked beans.
Right.
It's a bucket of corn on a cob.
Slow down. I don't know if the budget is that big
For the cookout.
Yeah.
They just got
Or
one.
the director exactly like this is not the spread in Daughters of the Dust, which literally I dream about sometimes.
The spread and Daughters of the
Yeah, remember they had the kind of it was almost it was like Creole and
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, oh my.
See, I don't dream about that. I dream about soul food. The spread is soul food.
I'm about to say, just spreading soul food just makes me sleepy.
I know.
It's just, yeah.
Oh my God, it looks good.
Yeah, I just remember Julie Dash shot him, and you could hear the clinking of the forks in the food, and I just remember how bright the shrimp is, and oh my goodness.
I can't hear like clinking on furniture, like silverware or dishes anymore, and I think it get out. I feel like I'm sinking. So no. So you've just spoiled it for me.
I just spoiled it.
I will never watch Daughters of Dust again.
I mean, it's not a spoon in a cup, though.
But it's the sound.
Just that
triggers.
Clinking. Also, it's not a white woman doing it. So.
Fair enough.
All right.
All right. You may have saved it.
All right.
You may have saved it for a rewatch.
All right.
All right. What black movie would you suggest for the cookout, Vincent?
You know me. I'm definitely going old school.
What?
Definitely Uptown Saturday Night.
I was about to say Uptown Saturday Night.
I'm always going to Uptown Saturday Night.
I knew it. I knew it would be Uptown Saturday Night. Sharon Eldridge referenced John Voight's accent in Anaconda. She said his accent is a hate crime.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. I actually, I have to check. I guess I can't do any.
That's got to be a bad black movie.
Right. I guess I can't do either of the Rudy Ray Moore Dolomite films.
Yeah,
it's
no.
nudity.
They're just too, they're just too crudely done. Right?
They're. Yeah, I don't know. How about you?
I was thinking about that, and I was going to say, what's Martin Lawrence's Fat Mama movie?
Oh, Big Mama's House?
Big Mama's House.
Oh, Lord.
But
people do seem to enjoy it, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think enough people would consider that a bad black movie. Right. So, but that's the first one that came to my mind.
While people are watching,
that could be
I can get deviled eggs.
So you're just looking for a distraction.
I am.
Well, then will be a race because I eat all the deviled eggs.
It was like we put on Big Mama's House and somebody put on the Wobble. And then I'll make my way
there you go.
To the
that's all you need. The movie people, the dance people, straight beeline to the deviled eggs.
Right. And I feel like if you wobble while watching Big Mama's House, you'll make Mary J. Blige appear. I think that is such a black thing. Like, there's so much blackness in one space as that's happening. You summon Mary J. Blige in Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. And that's just how they would appear. Like, Maze would appear, and then it'll go da-na-na, and then Frankie Beverly would appear in like that white linen outfit and the white
cap.
Right.
White cap. And then Mary J.
Yeah, so there you go.
Well, that has been Missives from the Missionaries.
All right. Thank you, one and all, for writing in and participating.
Yes. That was a delight. All right. It is now time.
All right. Moving right along.
For the top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5. My top 5 is. My top 5 is. My top 5 is. My top 5 is.
Top 5, ladies and gentlemen, where I come up with a list and I give it to Vincent to have his commentary on. It's another segment for you, Vincent.
You know what?
You've got 2 segments.
You know what?
You are the dude, man.
Just do
You are the star of Micheaux.
Just do the top 5.
I am just here for your bidding.
You know what?
I'm just here to set you up.
Can we just do the top 5?
Okay.
What is number 5?
Do you not want to hear what the topic is?
I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead.
Jesus.
I'm very excited about Theodore Rex, I guess.
Okay. Speaking of Theodore Rex, a movie which I alluded to at the top of the show that Whoopi Goldberg did not want to do.
No, she did not.
And we will talk about that during our review.
Yeah.
And it is a film, one of the films, I think she's openly said, it's the only film that she really regrets doing.
Yes.
Even though I would caution that there's probably a bit of a caveat to that, but we'll talk about that later.
Sure.
But in thinking about that.
Right, the one she openly regrets.
Yes.
You know, I'm sure she maybe has some in her heart that she wishes she hadn't made.
Right. But thinking about that, I wanted to talk about other bad black career moves.
Okay.
In this celebrity edition.
Right.
So,
in our opinion, or these objectively bad moves that people made that like they would agree with?
Well, these are my opinion.
Okay.
But I think objectively these are considered.
All right, here we go. All right, well, let's see.
Well, number 5, and this is one that is definitely considered a bad career move, and this actor has said so themselves. Number 5 is Halle Berry doing Catwoman in 2004.
Yeah.
Now, for those who don't know, Halle Berry remains one of the few actors who actually accepted her Razzie Award.
That's right.
For worst actor in a movie. In person. She went to the Razzie Awards.
She did.
And she said, "Thank you so much. I never in my life thought that I would be up here," she told the audience, before spoofing her own Oscar acceptance speech and thanking her manager by saying that her manager loves her so much that he convinced me to do projects even when he knows that it is shit.
Yeah.
She has recently said that she has been carrying the weight of the failure of Catwoman, telling Jimmy Kimmel on the show, whatever success it had or didn't have somehow seemed like it was all my fault, but it really wasn't my fault. And when you think about it, actually, to a degree, wasn't. But this shows you how good a sport that Halle Berry is. Catwoman was a project that was originally developed with Michelle Pfeiffer in mind to be a sequel to her role of Catwoman from 1990s or 91 Batman Returns.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, Michelle Pfeiffer didn't do it. They went to a couple of other people. They said no. It languished in turnaround for years and years and years. And it finally fell on Halle Berry's lap, and Halle Berry was like, okay, I'll do it. But by that point, because it was not going to be Michelle Pfeiffer, they had kind of like rewritten it to be like a Catwoman in name only.
Sure.
And the character is actually totally different from the character from the Batman Returns. But Halle Berry signed on, did the film. Mm-hmm. To be fair, ladies and gentlemen, so did Sharon Stone. Mm-hmm. She is also in this movie.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But does not carry the weight of this film that is a bad film.
It's a bad film.
It's a bad...
But, you know.
But it is...
There are films that are worse than Catwoman.
We've proven that.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I don't think since as long as we've been doing Mother May I, Catwoman is better than any film we've done on Mother May I.
Yeah. I agree. Everything about this being on this list, as we've just said, it's not as bad as people say it is. Like, I think it turned into like this punchline to the point where people talk about it, but they didn't actually watch it.
I'm about to say, is this another Malcolm X?
Sort of in the same vein. Like, people talk about it, but they didn't actually watch it. Halle Berry has been such a good sport about it that I think retroactively people have a little bit of affection for it.
I know. Yeah.
And I've heard her say that part of the reason that she took it was because Eartha Kitt played Catwoman in the third season.
The third and final
of
season.
Batman 66.
Right.
So,
she was trying to, continue on that legacy.
Yeah.
And God bless her.
So, it is a solid 5. This is a very good-humored, good-natured solid 5.
If Catwoman was screening at a local wine establishment, would you go?
Yeah, I think so. I think I would. Yeah, I think I would.
Okay, sit yourself.
I think you could package Catwoman.
Package it, yes. You have to be a double feature.
Or I think there'd have to be some commentary from,
like one of participants or something.
Right.
Got you.
I think you could package Catwoman.
Okay. All right.
With people in your phone book. Not in my phone book, but on your phone.
Okay.
You have direct, I think you could package Catwoman.
Oh.
But go ahead.
All right, we'll table that.
All right.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Again, following in bad black career moves.
Okay.
Or some might say bad post-Oscar moves. Mm-hmm. From 2002.
2002.
Cuba Gooding Jr. in Boat Trip.
Boat Trip.
Now.
Oh, you zigged and I thought you were going to zag.
I know where you thought I was going to go.
Yeah.
Cuba Gooding Jr. rose to fame in 1991, as everybody knows, as the lead in Boys in the Hood.
Right, Trey.
He went on to win an Oscar for his work in Jerry Maguire.
Very, very good.
And there was considered on a roll for appearing in As Good as It Gets, What Dreams May Come.
Good in both of those.
And Men of Honor, which is a movie they were But in 2002, he unleashed his first 2 starring vehicles since Boys in the Hood. And even Boys in the Hood was more of an ensemble.
Sure.
The family comedy Snow Dogs.
Yeah.
Which is where you probably thought I was.
No, it's not where I thought you were.
Okay. And the horrifically misguided Boat Trip.
Boat Trip, which is terrible. It's terrible.
It is both. They're both. Boat Trip is horrible. Both of these movies were critical disasters, but the argument could be made that Snow Dogs made money because it was seen as a family film.
Snow Dogs is harmless.
It's a family movie.
Right, there's nothing wrong with Snow Dogs.
For kids to go.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Snow Dogs.
Right.
Yeah.
But Boat Trip, where he is like.
First of all, isn't Horatio Sands in that?
And Horatio's in him.
That should have been a deal breaker. I want an Oscar.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Not being in no movie with Horatio Sands.
Well, talk to him.
Right.
Talk to Cuba Gooding Jr.
I thought you were going to say radio, though.
See, but there are people that like radio.
There is no one that likes radio.
Okay, maybe
you are actually wrong.
I don't like radio.
No. No one likes radio.
I thought there were people that like
no
radio.
one likes radio.
I thought there were people.
There's a whole bit in Tropic Thunder about radio, about how bad radio is.
Really?
Have you never seen Tropic Thunder?
Oh, I love Tropic Thunder. No, I know there's a bit in it.
Yes, but that is a direct reference to radio.
No, yes, but to criticism, there's criticism about radio, and I know that there is a segment of society that doesn't like radio.
Yes, that segment is humanity.
But radio was profitable. It wasn't a flop.
Was it?
I don't think it was a flop.
You are telling me something, right?
Now I'm looking it up.
Right.
I believe radio was a relative hit. I don't think it was like a great hit.
I don't think radio was a hit at all.
I think
you are about to teach me something right now. If
radio
you say
from
radio.
2003.
Yes.
Radio from 2003. I'm going to radio right now.
Budget of.
Give me.
All right.
Give me a second. Look, this thing.
You defending radio like you love radio so much. You and radio should go on a date together.
Budget.
Y'all should get married and have kids.
Budget. $30 million.
Okay.
Box office. $52.6 million. It made money. I'm not like I said. I'm not saying that it was a world class hit.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it made back its money.
I don't know if
it made back its money.
I don't think we call that a hit. That sounds like Hollywood accounting.
Well,
yeah, nobody likes radio.
Look, it made its money. And yes, he did earn Cuba Gooding Jr. was nominated for a Raspberry for his performance, but he also, you say that, but he was also nominated for an Image Award for Best Actor.
Oh my!
So I told you there was a segment of the population that did.
Please tell me the NAACP did not nominate him for an Image Award.
Yes, he was nominated. Not only that, Vincent, he was nominated for Best Actor for radio by the NAACP Image Awards.
Black people make me tired.
Black Real Awards.
Black people make me tired sometimes. They really do. I love us so much, but sometimes...
And it was nominated for Best Sports Movie by the ESPYs. I told you there was a segment of society that did enjoy that movie. I don't, but I'm telling you there was a segment.
Was that number?
That was number 4.
All right, let's keep going.
That made your head hurt.
Well, the bad thing is I have Robert Downey Jr.'s quote from Tropic Thunder running in my head that I don't think you should actually say it out loud.
No.
But that's all I keep hearing in my head.
No, you shouldn't. We don't. You don't want to say that.
But you never go full.
No. Okay.
And he went full.
He did. Well, so did Robert Downey Jr.
Well,
I love Tropic Thunder.
Oh, I love Tropic Thunder.
It is, you get arguments in there on that movie too.
Yeah, but that's people like the point goes right over their head. Like that's
I see.
Like Tropic Thunder is actually a movie about that.
I know.
Go ahead.
I know.
Who's next?
I know. All right, number 3.
Number 3.
Bad black career move.
Okay, what we got?
Decidedly a bad black career move. Wesley Snipes. And taxes. Now, in case you don't know this story, ladies and gentlemen, because it's actually got some age on it already. Wesley Snipes, of course, huge star. White Men Can't Jump, Blade, To Wong Fu, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar, which is a very slept-on movie.
It is. It's very good.
He doing great things in the action space, the drama space. Legitimate, growing superstar. Probably the only one who was giving Denzel a run for his money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In that time of year. However, you have to pay your taxes.
You have to pay your taxes.
Wesley Snipes was found guilty of willfully not filing taxes for 3 years.
Yeah.
And got a year in jail for each year he failed to make a trip to H&R Block.
Yeah.
Also, he had to pay back $17 million in taxes and penalties. Since it is pretty hard to make a Blade sequel from jail, his tax evasion pretty much put a complete stop to his career, and he has really been in rebuild mode. Ever since.
He has.
Really.
He has.
And now, to the degree, he's rebuilt his career to the point where when he shows up, You're happy to see him.
Happy to see him.
Like he's one of the best thing in a couple of things. A couple of Eddie Murphy movies.
He's one of the he's one of the best things in Dolomite Is My Name. He is the best thing.
The absolute best
coming
thing
to America.
Yes, he is.
I did not finish it, and that was really more a matter of time than anything else. But I enjoyed him in that Kevin Hart show.
I enjoyed him. I was the show itself didn't do anything for me. I enjoyed him.
But yeah, I'm you know we're both huge Wesley Snipes fans.
Yeah.
And it would take something. I will say this, Wesley Snipes is such a talent that it would take something like Taxes to throw him in the skids like it did.
Yeah.
Because, you know, everything he's in, he elevates. So.
Yeah, he just doesn't pay any taxes.
Got to pay his taxes. All right, who we got?
Number two. This is stepping a little bit from the world of movies.
Okay.
However, this is definitely a celebrity.
Okay.
A celebrity in the sports field.
Okay.
They're trying to make it in the entertainment game.
Okay.
And this one's got a little bit of age on it.
Okay.
And this would be Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
And the Magic Hour.
The Magic Hour.
Do you remember the Magic Hour?
Yeah, that was his television.
That was
very
his
short-lived
late night television show.
Yeah.
People thought that Magic Johnson could make it as a
late night host.
Late night TV host. So they created the Magic Hour, which was basically a cookie cutter late night talk show.
In the wake of Arsenio,
and
they wanted
following
something sort
Arsenio.
of urban and hip, and
And it only lasted 3 months.
Yes.
Magic Johnson proved to be very ill-fitted.
Well, he was stiff
for the role of interviewing people, being glib. Don't get me wrong, Magic Johnson, a magnet of a personality, as far as his smile and his effervescence, but he couldn't get over a joke.
I think he quit too quick. I think there's a parallel universe where if he stuck with it for a year, a week into his second year, he would have found his groove.
Yeah, but that's giving the benefit of the doubt that the network would have stuck with him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I don't think the network was going to stuck with him.
Right. But
and basically he was already like it was failing, but he signed his death warrant when he had Howard Stern come on to the show, and basically run the show, and then had Howard Stern and his own band perform Wipeout while people farted during the chorus.
Right. Well, that's right. That was a bad decision, but that's not.
It was funny as hell if you were a Howard Stern fan, because I enjoyed that.
Right, but you know, for the rest of us,
it was not.
Yeah.
It was.
You know who I find myself watching more than not, like you know, on social media when things pop up, recommendations for you to watch. I don't know what it's on, if it's a clip from a television show or if he's doing it just for Facebook. But Shannon Sharp has some type of interview deal.
He's got a podcast.
All right, but maybe
YouTube podcast.
Okay, I really like Shannon Sharp's interviews, and he is right in that pot. Like, I'm a 50-year-old black man.
Yeah, he's
and I talk to 50-year-old black dudes.
Yeah.
So it's like I've seen him with Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah.
I feel like there was an MC that he was talking to.
He's done more than a few
like
hip-hop.
Snoop.
Yeah.
And I can very easily see Magic Johnson in that kind of space.
I couldn't. Because if you have seen, because you don't watch sports.
Right.
So if you would watch sports, if you could see Magic Johnson on like sports shows, sitting with guys and having to kind of like bust it up with them, Magic Johnson, he doesn't work. He doesn't work in that space. And the reason why is because Magic Johnson is as much of as he is a personality, he's also very much a brand and a business.
Okay.
So he's not going to get but so deep.
So he's not going to.
And he's never going to let you in but so much.
Okay.
Like Shannon Sharp.
I get you. I see what you're saying.
He's cultivated like
I see what you're saying.
Straight shooter.
Right. Magic ain't gonna mess up.
He ain't gonna mess that up, man.
I'll tell you my magic story. Got my
magic story?
I got a magic story.
How do you got a magic story?
I'm about to tell you how I have a magic story because I'm a patron of the arts and an aesthete, and I go to shows. And
La-dee-da.
And I think, you know what? It may have been that run of Top Dog Underdog, like the original run. Mm-hmm. Anyway, during intermission, you know those Broadway theaters, you know, they're so small. They're so small, and the rooms are small, and the bathrooms are small. The bathrooms were so small that there was a line for the men's room.
There's never a line.
Exactly. Magic he went to see the show too.
Okay.
So we are all in line. It is a line to get into the men's room. Magic's in the line.
Wow.
So we're all in line.
Wow. You just imagine there's a separate thing for...
Well, that's part of the story. It's always some douchebag that is like, I'm more important than anyone else. So therefore, I shouldn't have to be in line. Mm-hmm. And this dickhead like walked past everybody to go into the bathroom in front of everybody. And of course, everybody in line was like, whoa, my man, you got to wait in line. Mm-hmm. Everybody got to wait in line. And he started puffing up. And then Magic goes, yeah, everybody has to wait in line. And the dude is like, oh, well.
Okay.
I guess if Magic Johnson is waiting in line, I guess I gotta wait in line too. So I had that moment of solidarity
with
Magic Johnson.
Nice.
So, and that is my Magic Johnson.
That's your
story.
Magic Johnson.
That's my Magic Johnson.
And that is literally the only way that you would have a Magic Johnson story.
Look, that's my Magic Johnson story.
Very good. Very good, Vincent.
All right.
The number one bad black career movie. And now this one is maybe not a bad. It's not necessarily it's not a bad black career movie, but it definitely opens up like a sliding doors like idea in your head.
Sure.
And in this actor has actually even talked about it.
Okay.
Eddie Murphy. And the one film role that he regrets not taking, which was Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy, for those who don't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
He, coming out of Trading Places, in which he stars with Dan Aykroyd, was actually asked by Aykroyd and Harold Ramis about working on a film and starring in Ghostbusters in the role of that went to Ernie Hudson.
Yes.
But Eddie said, I don't know, that doesn't sound for me like it's for me. More or less said that. He actually said that he didn't think much of it, of the idea. And then went on to do Beverly Hills Cop.
That's right.
But he has always contended that he wishes that he actually had followed through after he saw the movie. He wished that he had followed through and done the movie for two reasons. One, because he doesn't take the role that eventually goes to Ernie Hudson, who's no slouch of an actor, Ernie Hudson, but by far not the name of Eddie Murphy.
No.
The role is pretty much defanged.
That's right.
For Ernie Hudson.
That's right.
Because Ernie Hudson auditions on the script that was they thought was going to go to Eddie Murphy. And that character was built up with a true backstory. And it was part of the Ghostbusters from the beginning.
That's right.
Like he was very integral to development.
He had a military background.
Yeah, which played a part.
Well, because the other three are scientists.
Yes.
So he was a military.
He went into strategy and everything.
That's right.
But all of that was defanged when they don't have the star of Eddie Murphy in there. So Eddie regrets that, and he also mentioned that he regretted it because, as much as he knew that Beverly Hills Cop was going to be a huge for him, and it was, but he thought that it would have been fun to play with those guys.
Absolutely,
Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis. It would, and he thought that as ready as he was to take on his own thing, he thought it would have put him on that much more sure footing. Sure. When he moved into his own thing, as far as being able to play with others and really work in part of an ensemble, because he worked as a partner with Dan Aykroyd, and now he'd be part of a true ensemble and learning underneath Bill Murray, who he had never worked with. So he really regretted that. He didn't regret it money-wise. He couldn't regret it career-wise.
I was saying,
but just
legacy-wise,
and legacy-wise. But I would argue that maybe legacy-wise it might have been different for him. I would have loved to see him in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I think Eddie Murphy in Ghostbusters, the legacy is still Ghostbusters. Like, I think this builds and I think rightfully it builds Harold Ramis's legacy, just like it does now. No, it does, but I think Eddie Murphy. It's hard to see it because when you're thinking of Ghostbusters, you're not thinking of that role being built up. But Eddie Murphy in that role, with it being as built up as it was supposed to be, I think gives him that much more solid footing that when he does do his other movies. I mean, how much better is Beverly Hills Cop going to be? Okay, but there's Beverly Hills Cop, but then, Beverly Hills Cop, he's good in, right? The Golden Child is not that great. I mean, I think he maybe makes smarter choices. I mean, I hear you, but Bill Murray made, everybody that you just named made terrible movie choices after Ghostbusters. Dan Aykroyd made terrible movie choices. Dan Aykroyd did, but I don't know. Bill Murray after Ghostbusters. What are the great Bill Murray movies before Wes Anderson rescued him 25 years ago? He's not a couple. He did Caddyshack. Right, a Harold Ramis, and that's before Ghostbusters. I don't think that's Harold Ramis. But it's before Ghostbusters. Okay. He did. What's the movie where he's the clown? Caddyshack. The clown is robbing people. It's Stripes. No one really that's a cult classic. I like it though. I like it too. I love Bill Murray movies, but Bill Murray is not someone that when you are an A-list. And Bill Murray also is very selective about his films. Well, but he selected some real dogs. No, what's the movie where he did with Groundhog Day? I think has become a thing. Groundhog Day is a great movie. No, Groundhog Day is a great movie, but I don't think it was a hit when it came out. Okay, fair enough. It probably wasn't a huge. Right, it's like Christmas. But did Scrooge? You think about is it Quick Change? Quick Change. Yeah, Quick Change. I think Scrooge is another one that has aged well. Yeah. Bill Murray, Bill Murray has made a hit movie. Okay, but he's made good movies though. Right. Okay, right. Not every movie is going to be a hit, but he made good movies. I'm just saying. Dan Aykroyd made Dogs. Eddie Murphy. Bill Murray made good movies. Not all of them may have been. Right. I think Eddie Murphy not making Ghostbusters because he made Beverly Hills Cop and then went on to be Eddie Murphy. Yeah, this is not radio. No, it's not Catwoman. It's not radio, but like I said, it's more of a sliding door. Right. I would have just loved. Right, I would have put Cuba Gooding on here twice. You throw radio up. There. I'm not going to do that to the man. Right. I wouldn't do that. Or like a film that I adore, but I don't know if this was a good move, or frankly, how many choices. It boggles my mind every time I think about the fact that Louis Gossett Jr. won an Academy Award in Enemy Mine, where the whole film, he's in prosthetics.
See, I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Oh, I love Enemy Mine.
But I remember liking it, so I remember figuring it.
Yeah, but it's...
So you think it is a bad career move because he hides himself?
Yes.
But sometimes you sign those contracts before,
well,
you know, before the Oscars.
Yeah.
You know, and like, you know.
Yeah, well, Enemy Mine let him write in the Iron Eagle.
And then he couldn't get out of the Iron Eagle. He was stuck in the Iron Eagle for 4 movies.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
All right.
Anyway. Well, that's my top 5.
I like it.
Okay. You like everyone except number 1.
Yeah, except number 1.
You would have put Cuba Gooding twice. You would have returned to Cubaville.
Yeah.
Go back to Cuba.
Yeah.
For number 1. Mm-hmm. All right. That would have been unfair. I wouldn't do that to him. All right. See, Scrooge, Groundhog Day, Sharon Eldridge, she's right there with me. Bill Murray.
Look, great films. Love those films.
And they were.
I don't know how much of a hit they were when they
but they were good movies.
Out. Oh,
the argument was good movies.
They're great.
Let's continue.
Yes. I think Eddie Murphy would take that Shrek in that Beverly Hills Cop 2 or 3 check over the Groundhog Day check. No, he would.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Shrek check, yes.
Okay, I'm pretty sure.
Beverly Hills Cop 2. Not 3.
Okay, the money he made off of 3? What are you oofing as if
I don't know.
Bill Murray didn't make no real money off of Groundhog Day?
I don't know. Let's go. Let's keep it moving.
All right.
Let's keep it moving, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly wasn't a bad career move for Vincent to become part of the Micheaux mission, because we're going to his 3rd segment.
Oh, for God's sake.
It is 6 Degrees of D'Urville Martin.
That's the key. Well, you'd be surprised what a person can do with just a sense of touch and a sense of sound.
Whew.
Six Degrees of D'Urville Martin, ladies and gentlemen, where I give Vincent, the star of our show,
Oh, for God's sake. Just
2 actors who he will connect in 6 movies or less to D'Urville Martin, the other star of the Micheaux mission.
a man who made no bad career moves.
None whatsoever. All right. And
He's an actor.
keeping in honoring our film that we are going to be reviewing later, which is Theodore Rex, which stars Whoopi Goldberg.
It does.
These 2 actors, Vincent, are 2 actors whose name also sounds like they might be Jewish.
Okay. All right. Got you.
However, they are not.
However, they are not.
And we will start with number 1.
Number 1,
Zachary Levi.
Zachary Levi. Zachary Levi isn't Jewish?
No, he's not.
Interesting.
He's not Jewish.
Yeah. You know, the bad thing about Zachary Levi is that what I really know him from is from Chuck. And his big movie role would, of course, be in the Shazam films, which he's in with Megan Good.
Oh. Yes.
Who was in Eve's Bayou with Samuel L. Jackson, who was in
I'm not going to help you.
I'm just, look, there's so many ways to get from Samuel Jackson to D'Urville Martin. I'm trying to think of, you know what? Samuel Jackson was in, well, you know, let's just keep on. You know, he's in Mo Better Blues, of course, with Dick Anthony Williams, who is in Five on the Black Hand Side with D'Urville Martin.
Very good, Vincent.
Yes.
Very good. All right, you got there.
You forgot Megan Good was in Shazam?
I did. I did. Rightfully so, because I forgot all about Shazam.
Yeah.
You forget it as soon as you've seen it. You didn't see the second Shazam, did you?
No, I didn't see the first Shazam.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah, y'all talk that Shazam stuff. I wouldn't sign up for that.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah, that's what y'all told me.
All right, Vincent. Very good. The second actor, who also
Has a name that sounds Jewish.
he's at least an actor that people believe.
We believe he is Jewish,
However, he is not.
but he is not.
In 6 movies or less,
6 movies or less.
connect D'Urville Martin
Derville Martin.
to Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. Well, see, the thing about Adam Driver is that he is in Star Wars The Force Awakens with Billy D. Williams, who's in the final come down with D'Urville Martin.
I forgot Billy D. Williams was in that. Damn it.
Now, you need to think about the fact that you forgot that Lando Calrissian was in Star Wars, let's bring all the old actors back.
I forgot that he. I guess I forgot about that.
Now then, Adam Driver is also in The Force Awakens.
Oh God.
With Carrie Fisher, who is in The Blues Brothers with Dan Aykroyd.
Yes.
Who is in Trading Places with Eddie Murphy, who is in Boomerang with Leonard Jackson,
Yes.
who was in Five on the Black Hand Side
with D'Urville
D'Urville
Martin.
Martin.
You want?
He is also in The Force Awakens with Harrison Ford, who is in The Fugitive with Tommy Lee Jones, who is in... How do I want to get from Tommy Lee Jones to D'Urville Martin?
Sure. You just got a whole another half of the show to do. Take your time.
Who's in Men in Black 2 with Michael Jackson. Who is in The Wiz with Diana Ross. Who is in Lady Sings the Blues with Billy D. Williams again. Who's in The Final Come Down.
Very good, Vincent. Very good. Very good. You got there. 3 times.
Well, if you wanted to,
Oh,
we're not going to. If you wanted to, we could use, what's the name? Oscar Isaacs.
yes, you could use Oscar
Read
Isaac.
Oscar Isaacs as well. If I sit here long enough, I can figure out how to use, what's her name too? The girl.
Daisy.
Daisy. Ridgely.
Yeah, Daisy Ridley.
Yeah.
Daisy Ridley. Okay. All right. Sean Simmons, no, this is not our first Michael Jackson connection. We've used Men in Black 2 with Michael Jackson before. Yeah, we go everywhere.
Here, there, and everywhere.
On the Micheaux mission.
Here, there, and everywhere. So there you go.
All right, very good, Vincent.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
You gotta stop forgetting about the black people in these movies.
I forgot about him.
So you gotta do like a Wes Anderson movie. He don't really use a whole lot of black people. Oh, burn! Like I watched The French Dispatch the other night for the first time because I love Wes Anderson, and I saw Jeffrey Wright. I said, "Oh shit, it's a black person in a Wes Anderson movie."
Yeah, because
Call Danny Glover. They can have a meeting. They can have a meeting. Black people in Wes Anderson movies.
Because the only movie that I can think of, and I think this was Wes Anderson.
I just told you all the black people in Wes Anderson movies. I actually just told you.
Well, this is not a black person, but a brown person.
Okay.
Was in the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah.
Was young boy from Dope.
Yeah.
Is in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
just, well, there you go. All right.
All right.
Let's get into our review, ladies and gentlemen, of Theodore Rex. Theodore Rex, ladies and gentlemen. 1995 buddy cop science fiction comedy. So they say. Written and directed by Jonathan Betul in his first and only
His first and only film.
film.
Retired after this.
Starring Whoopi Goldberg. The film revolves around an alternate futuristic society where humans and anthropomorphic dinosaurs coexist. A tough police detective named Katie Coltrane, played by Whoopi Goldberg, is paired with an anthropomorphic Tyrannosaurus Rex named Theodore Rex to find the killer of dinosaurs and other prehistoric animals, leading them to a ruthless billionaire bent on killing off mankind by creating a new ice age. In this film that stars Armin Mueller-Stahl, Juliet Landau, Bud Cord, Stephen McHattie, Richard Roundtree Shaft himself, and the voices of Carol Kane and George Newbern as the title character Theodore Rex in Vincent's selection for this stop on Mother May I Have, another one of those bad black movies. Vincent, what say you of Theodore Rex?
What I say about Theodore Rex is that I wish I had some type of connection to Ryan Murphy,
Okay.
who is the creator of the FX series like what is it, Feud?
Yeah.
Where he looks at classic Hollywood feuds.
Right.
And I would pitch a show to him called Cluster F, where it would be a dramatization, an examination of classic Hollywood cluster Fs that have taken on a life of their own and people are interested in. And Theodore Rex would be the film that I would want to be the center of the first episode.
The backstory of Theodore Rex.
The backstory of Theodore Rex,
Okay.
which is a film that joins a few of the films that we've talked about. One in particular, I'm thinking about Norman, Is That You? The infamous Red Fox starring role. That the story behind the film is infinitely more interesting than the film itself.
Right.
As you said, this stars Whoopi Goldberg, but it was a long road to getting to Whoopi Goldberg.
It was.
The story that everyone has agreed on, that I feel comfortable saying out loud, is that Whoopi Goldberg had an oral agreement to make this film.
Yes.
Due to some circumstances that are very vague, she changed her mind and wanted to back out.
Right.
The producer of this film, and that man's name is Richard Abramson,
Yes.
sued Whoopi Goldberg for breach of contract.
Right. I put a pin in that.
He was going to sue her. They settled. She ends up making the film for $7 million. $7 million makes the film. There is drama on the set almost immediately. Like Richard Abramson is removes himself because he's a producer. So he's not the director, but basically he's the money man. So the money man oftentimes is just around.
Right.
He doesn't come on the set anymore. There are players, producers, people involved, Whoopi Goldberg's business partners, that as the shoot goes on, people can't be on the set at the same time.
Right.
Because Whoopi Goldberg is not happy about this film at all. There are a number of lawsuits that come out of this film with people saying they didn't get paid the way they were supposed to get paid. This is a film that is technically under our purview by a sliver of what we cover.
Yes.
They had test screenings of this film that went horribly.
Yes. It did not test well.
So after the test screenings, this film was not in theaters in the United States.
Exactly. That's the caveat.
It was released in every other country except for the United States in Italy. Mm-hmm. And when it was
released
theatrically, right? Yeah, so that people, it has the distinction of being the most expensive direct-to-video film ever made.
Yes, because at a budget of $35
million. When it opened in other countries, this was the year that Whoopi Goldberg was hosting the Oscars. So in a bit of synergy, the plan, or a generalized plan, was that this film would be released in November to coincide with her hosting the Oscars. There have been many theories throughout the years that the release date was changed to Christmas, which is infamously a time when this begins that period where studios bury films that they're just trying to burn off. It has been rumored allegedly that Whoopi Goldberg was behind burying this film because she did not want to be in it. Everything I just said is probably the tip of the iceberg.
Oh yeah,
The actual story of what went on behind this film.
Oh yeah, there's very interesting details.
Yeah, as you've said, Whoopi Goldberg has been very vocal over the years, including as recently as like 2 or 3 years ago. She was talking about this on The View, about how she regretted making this film, and has come this close to saying she was she was actually backed into making this film, but it sounds like it was a little sketchy how she got involved with it anyway. She has a business partner that was her ex-business partner.
This is the reason why he said that.
Well, hey, I don't know if it's the reason, but he is her ex-business partner before this film is finished filming. And I don't know how much of it is a chicken and an egg situation, because what you get on the screen is a mess.
Yes.
Is a mess. And I mean mess in almost its literal sense. Because from the beginning of this film, almost to the end, it is difficult to understand what is actually going on in this film.
I know.
And who is this film for? Mm-hmm. This is a film, as you said, that is set in an undetermined future, where a scientist has sort of Jurassic Parked dinosaurs.
Yes.
And brought them back to life. And this is part of the actual narrative of the film. But the dinosaurs that he's brought them back in the form of almost a knockoff Chuck E. Cheese rubber suit format.
Well, yes, because he's brought them back. They're anthropomorphized. They are
right.
They can talk. They can learn.
They can talk and learn. But they're very jokey and juvenile.
Very well. I mean,
and again, it is almost like they're all like mascots at an amusement park, or like the short-lived television show Dinosaurs.
Yes,
where there is nothing about them or the world that has been built around them where you are supposed to take them seriously.
No.
So on the one hand, you feel like maybe this is a film that's supposed to be for kids. Mm-hmm. But there's there's a level of violence in this film. There's a level of murder in this film.
Because it starts off with a murder.
It starts off with the murder. I have to say the villain's plot overall is a surprisingly mature plot. Like, he wants to murder the entire world, start all over again. He has a God complex. Like, it seems like the plot that someone in a more serious film would have. So just tonally, you can't really understand what's going on and who it's for.
Right.
It probably goes without saying, Whoopi Goldberg would rather be having a root canal than be in this film. Whoopi Goldberg, who we are well on record as being fans of, is so lackluster and so barely present. Like, if I didn't know that she was forced to do this, you almost want to ask her blink twice if you're in danger. So that while it commits the crime of being boring, which is my ultimate crime, it's boring. It is such an amazing car wreck that you wonder, A, was there something else
There you go.
that this turned into?
There you go.
Or B, is this just a level of wrongheadedness that somehow a woman who by 96, and I meant to look this up before I came in, certainly by we'll look this up real quick. What year is Ghost?
Ghost is before this.
Right, she's got to be halfway to an EGOT by now.
Oh yeah, I mean another reason
Because she had won the Tony.
Another reason why she doesn't want to do it.
And if she'd already won the Oscar, this is a woman who's halfway to being an EGOT.
Yeah, Ghost is 90.
How in the world
Ghost
is Whoopi Goldberg in
Ghost
this?
is 90. Sister Act 1 and 2 are 92 and 93.
Well, I was just trying to figure out, I was trying to get to the Oscar.
But I'm just saying, like, also in 96, she's in Ghost of the Mississippi. So it's like, she's...
Yeah. Oh, well, again, I'm just, like, again, Whoopi is well on her way to an EGOT. And she's in this, which has two running jokes. A, dinosaur breath and dinosaur fart smell. B, he knocks over things with his tail.
Yes, he is uncontrolled tail.
So yeah, it is terrible, but more than terrible, I found it confusing.
It is. It's a bad movie. Just speaking about Whoopi Goldberg and how she kind of gets locked into this movie, like you said, somewhere along the line she agrees to do the film. She agrees to do it for $5 million. Maybe she's seeing the writing on the wall. Who knows? But she's like, I think I'm going to change my mind. And what?
And let me just to not to, but I think it's important that it was an oral agreement,
Right.
Which to me sounds like someone who is representing her agreed to it.
Agreed to
like
it.
at this point,
Which is the business partner.
right. Like Whoopi Goldberg isn't in Target. It doesn't like an oral agreement with the star of Whoopi Goldberg's stature sounds like you made an agreement with her manager.
Well, okay. The story that I'm reading here is that it was after a series of meetings. So it was a few meetings. Whoopi Goldberg, to your point, made the verbal agreement with Abramson to do the movie for $5 million. Right. She later, on a phone call with Abramson, he asked her if she was still 100% committed to being in the film, and she said yes. Right? But it was not soon. Shortly after that, Goldberg stopped answering the producer's call. He was trying to, I guess things were getting in motion. And he's like, "Yo, want to keep her up to date." She's not returning any of the calls. Because of that, it was the Italian investors behind the movie. They're the ones that said, "Well, then Abramson, you sue her. Because if she's not going to return our calls, you sue her." Abramson actually didn't want to make that move. At least that's the story. He didn't want to make that move. They sued her for $20 million. She countersued, saying that she never agreed to do the film. However, when Abramson answered the call, when Whoopi Goldberg had called him earlier and over the phone she had committed to the movie, when he had answered the call, she was leaving him a message, and he picked up the phone. And the phone continued to record their call. So it recorded her saying that she was still 100% committed to the film. And it was with that piece of evidence, the judge basically told...
Right, you got to do it.
Like, if you want to go through this, we can. But if I was you, I would settle.
Right.
Because you're probably going to lose.
Right.
At which point she says, "All right, well, then y'all want to give me $2 million more." And thus, that's why she gets the $7 million to do the movie. So that's why she's roped into the movie. She hates it. She doesn't want to be there. She can see the writing on the wall. She's got this first-time writer who I don't know, maybe has tapes on the investors. They got him to, or maybe he's the only one that would agree with whatever they want to pay the director. He gets them to agree to let him direct the movie as well, because he believes this first-time writer, "You're going to write the film, you should direct it."
Who else can execute his vision?
Of course. So and they say, then Jal, go do it. So he does it. She probably sees the writing on the wall. She hates it. She hates it's there. And you're right. Her contempt is all over her face while she's doing this movie. Now, the story from the other people in the cast is that, for the most part, she was cool. She was cool with everybody there. People that could leave, because there's stories of people like leaving the production. It's like, man, I'm tired of this piece. Like, this is a piece of crap. They're not getting paid. People not getting paid. But she's got to be there. She's got to do it. And the story you read from the cast is that she's cool, but they understand why she doesn't want to be in this thing, and she's gonna do it, and she's gonna fulfill the contract and get it over and done with. God bless the agents of George Newbern and Carol Kane, because they only did the voices.
How about that?
In this thing. So you don't even really know. And Carol Kane is not like, she's a name.
Yeah.
But she's like a name.
Right.
So people are like, and George Newbern, nobody's really checking for him.
No.
So they get over. Armin Stoller-Mall, who is probably the only other actor of note that I know of this movie.
Well, and of course, Richard Roundtree.
Okay, I forgot Richard Roundtree.
Yeah.
Well, Richard Roundtree, but God bless him. He's in 5 minutes of the movie. And he's in and out.
Right.
He's
not an EGOT. So it's probably a check that...
It's a check that he probably...
Yeah, it's not a bad check.
He got a patio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Armin Stoller-Mall, when I saw that he was the second name behind Whoopi Goldberg, God bless the actor. I know he does good work. But him at that stature, I know, this is a mess.
Yeah.
This is a mess.
Yeah.
Because if he's second billed, y'all were digging deep. Y'all were digging deep for the rest of to fill out this cast. But the dinosaur effects are so much Jim Henson knockoffs.
I'd say, are we going to call them effects?
Well, there's something.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, because here's the bad thing about it, though. Much like there is a segment of society for whom we destroyed their childhood when we tore apart Ghost Dad,
Yeah.
there's a segment of society who this Theodore Rex, mom brought it home from Blockbuster
Oh.
for the kids,
Oh, absolutely.
and they absolutely ate this up.
The segment I'm talking about, where she talked about it on The View a couple of years ago, it was a little movement because there were fans of the movie there with her.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are people that do like this silly almost kids movie, especially when like the tone, you're right, is all over the place.
And I think the plot is too sophisticated.
Well, the plot is too sophisticated.
Yeah.
But they tried to dumb it down by having the Theodore Rex pretty much is in jokey mode the whole movie.
Right, which they reshot some stuff.
They
added
reshot
some,
a whole lot.
added some stuff.
Added like a lot of
punch
ad
him
libs.
up. Yeah.
To punch him up. But it totally devoids the character because the movie starts off with him gung-ho to be a detective.
Yeah.
But then he's seen sometimes bumbling, sometimes knowing what he's
Right.
doing. Like they don't know what they wanted him to be.
Right.
And then what you learn is that there is a version of this script where this was supposed to be kind of like a dark and dirty and kind of like gritty type of film, which whether or not that works or not, I don't know. But it sounds like it could have been kind of interesting.
If you squint your eyes, this could have been a version of Alienation.
It could have been. Or, you know what it could have been? And this is maybe too new of a reference. Bright from Netflix, the Will Smith movie.
It absolutely could.
Yeah.
It absolutely could. It is. If you lean into the tone, like you said, we're going to lean into this. We're going to make this dark. We brought these dinosaurs back. Obviously, we can't Jurassic Park it and have dinosaurs running around.
Right.
We spliced them with human DNA. They're anthropomorphic. They're their own thing. Go.
Right.
We got the first hybrid dinosaur dude. We're talking about making him detective.
Yeah.
And they got to travel. Well, it's Alienation.
It's Alienation. But then they can't leave well enough alone. Because somewhere, at least to me, in the middle or maybe even like last third of the movie, we learned that Whoopi Goldberg is an android. Now, earlier in the movie, there's this little kid who wants to hook her up with her father.
Which, put a pin in that. As soon as you finish talking, I want to talk about that.
And yet, we're led to believe that all along, she was an android.
She's been an android because sure, why not?
Where did this come from?
You know what I loved so much about this movie? You know what the part I loved about this movie so much that I wanted to hug the movie because it reinforces one of my long-held beliefs? Hollywood is so committed to making Whoopi Goldberg asexual, and they don't know what to do with Whoopi Goldberg as a sexual being, that the rubber dinosaur has a love interest.
Yes,
But Whoopi Goldberg does not. As the viewer, we feel, based on our test audiences, that you all feel like the rubber dinosaur man should have a love interest.
yes.
Whoopi Goldberg with a love interest is a bridge too far.
No.
So much so that, as you say, they sort of seed that the little boy's father is going to show up at some point. And I was watching, like, the only thing that actually kept me attentive was I wanted to see who was going to be the cameo of his father. Like, I was like, is it going to be Blair Underwood?
Like who?
Like, I was thinking it was going to be Blair Underwood. Like, I was really pulling for Blair Underwood to show up for one scene. Hi, I'm little black boy's father. And then Whoopi Goldberg winks at the camera and then it goes off. How do they not even show the father?
Oh, they showed the father.
You mean the dude clapping? And the dude with the flowers at the end?
At the end.
They never introduce him as his father, though.
They don't introduce him as his father, but he's standing there with the little boy,
yes.
and he winks at Whoopi Goldberg. That's the father. And who that actor is, we don't know, because he has no lines.
He has no lines.
He has no credit.
And I'm a bad viewer because I missed the wink.
Yeah, he kind of like winks at her.
That's a good pull. That's a good pull because there is no on-screen anything to let you know.
No.
And not for nothing. That dude, God bless that dude. I don't know who he is. I'm sure he's a wonderful human being. He ain't Blair Underwood.
No.
Like for you to have kept me holding on for an hour and a half for this dude. Yeah. Like I needed The Rock to show up in a UPS uniform. Yeah. Like at the end of Why Did I Get Married To?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain he's a PA that they dressed for that scene. Yes. Yes.
Whoopi Goldberg don't never get to have no man.
No, she's an android.
She's an asexual android.
She's an asexual android. Maybe they were trying to get Blair Underwood. He wouldn't sign. So they said, well, you know what? Just say she's an android on page 20 and we'll be good.
And you know Jeff, the guy who brings the sandwiches?
Oh.
See what size suit he wears.
What's Jeff?
Jeff, come here, Jeff. And put a suit on Jeff and have him stand there. And can you wink, Jeff? Can you wink and whistle? I don't know how to whistle. We'll just wink.
Jeff, are you in SAG? No. Come here.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, this is really, really a mess of a movie, man.
It's a mess.
It's a shame. It's not even a shame. Because there's a part of it that is maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity. Because the idea of it, you can maybe make it work if you put it in kind of like this Pee-wee Playhouse type of world.
I was about to say, you got to commit, though.
You got to commit. But then you've also got to be committing to changing your script.
Well,
and like
to your point,
pulling that apart.
If you're going to commit, and I think Pee-wee's Playhouse and whether we're talking about the two Pee-wee Herman films or the television show, where they have this very distinctive, well-executed, well-realized vision. You have to bring somebody in that can do that.
And you also got to be committed budgetly to the world in which you're trying to set up.
Well, that's part of the vision.
Because
you got to give me the budget.
Because there's I guess that you can't do
Tim Burton on the cheap.
Exactly. It's while the dinosaur costume or machinations that people are wearing aren't on the level of Jim Henson, it's not like they didn't spend some dough on them. So I'm not gonna like bastard shit on them like that.
You a good man. Well, I am.
I mean,
I thought they were terrible.
I
saw better costumes at Disney World.
I thought as designs they weren't bad. Maybe the execution wasn't as fully formed as you would like, but they weren't bad, right? I've seen worse. But then the world in which they inhabit is just so. I guess they spent the budget on that because everything else is just really cheap.
Again, and just to reference our pre-review conversation, one of the great things about Silo is that you can freeze the frame. Every single little detail on the screen, you understand how this detail has come about from this world they've told you they inhabit.
Right.
So if you are telling me that dinosaurs have been a part of this world for, 20 years, I think, let's say 20 years, every part of the world has to look like that.
Right.
Like you got to commit. And as much as you can critique Whoopi Goldberg's performance of not even phoning it in, but again, I'm a hostage and got to do this. I think you can say that about the entire production.
Yeah.
Like no one seemed like for the direct, the writer. Oh, it's my vision. Like no one seemed to really put the level of care into the detail that you would need, because it's a high concept.
I know.
Like you can't do a high concept and then half-ass it.
I see Farrell Blackwell in the chat asking, was this before or after Who Framed Roger Rabbit? This indeed was
after.
It was after. I can't even believe Roger Rabbit was 1988.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I didn't think it was that far back. I thought it was the 90s.
You want to talk about missed opportunity. When you said Eddie Murphy, that's what I thought you were going to talk about, because that's the Eddie Murphy project I've always heard him say he's sorry he passed on.
Oh, I didn't hear him say it.
Yeah, he got that before Bob Hoskins.
Oh, really?
And he
I
said
didn't hear about that.
He said this sounds ridiculous. What do you mean I'm gonna be on screen with some cartoons?
Oh, I didn't. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have liked that. But
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing because you bringing up Who Framed Roger Rabbit is apt, because there was the opportunity for that type of storytelling.
Sure.
Because Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a sophisticated, more, if you just look at, if you look at the story, it's Chinatown, but that's a sophisticated story, but it still works because it's for kids.
Look, they talk about story Bibles for television shows usually, but I think you can have them for genre films as well. Before you start the script, you got to build the world. So in the case of, like you said, Roger Rabbit, okay, so it's like Chinatown, but it's with cartoons. All the cartoons live in this town. Mm-hmm. Before we say what story we're going to tell, we got to say, well, what are the rules of this world? Mm-hmm. How does this world work? How do you go back and forth? What are the, do they have, what is the police rules and this, that, and the other? Yeah. Okay, what's the story we want to tell?
Right.
A current example of a film that does it fantastically, which is more similar to this than not, Zootopia.
Love Zootopia. Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Same thing.
I was thinking about
Same
that
thing
too.
where you can tell before they said the story, they said, what are the rules? Mm-hmm. And this, it's just not there. But again, I am always fascinated by this film.
So the question is, Vincent.
Yes.
This decidedly bad black movie.
Yes, it is.
Is it perfect for the cookout?
No. No, not at all.
Would you recommend people?
I would not recommend it.
Oh, really?
I would not recommend it. What I would recommend if you are someone who likes these behind the scenes stories and these kind of things, like I think this is a fantastic story. Mm. Like, I'm so angry that you said the voicemail part. Like, I forgot about the voicemail. but yeah, like, it's a great story.
The behind the
scenes stories. And kind of like I said, I would love to see someone with some real heft do something with this. Like, I would love to see a documentary on this, kind of like the Apocalypse Now documentary, where someone just really talks about it.
I just thought about another movie that failed trying to do this same type of thing. Mm-hmm. And now I can't think of the name of the movie. Maybe you can pull it.
Is it above the
law?
Above the law?
No.
It's not above the law?
No. We're partners. I finished Above the Law. You said above. I knew above the law.
So above.
But it's not Above the Law. What was the movie? I think it's called like the Happy Land Murders or something like that.
Yes.
About
I think that's what it was called.
The puppets.
The puppets,
like
yeah.
Or puppets.
Yeah.
Slash Muppets. Mm-hmm. The world.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was a movie that just didn't work. And that tried to be an adult movie.
Yeah, but the whole.
At least I guess that.
Yeah, but I think I don't know how much thoughtfulness went into that movie further than, wouldn't it be funny if puppets cursed and had sex?
No, I actually think more thought went into it. I just don't think they executed it.
Is that the film that Jim Henson's kid was involved in?
In the beginning. I don't think he finishes it.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I want to think he stepped off. I hope so.
But yeah.
Yeah, I can't recommend this film.
No.
I can't recommend this film, and I know it's become like a favorite for some kids or grown kids now. But no, I can't. No. What I would say, if you are thinking of introducing this to your children, don't. And buy the DVD set of the TV show you alluded to, Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Which was actually fun, but don't watch the final episode. Worst final episode ever.
It is bleak.
Worst final episode ever. Watch it up to the last episode and then stop.
Yeah.
Never watch the episode. We don't talk about the last episode
Yeah.
of Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But other than that, good show.
Yeah.
Fun show.
Yeah. You don't expect them to address the dinosaurs going extinct. And then they do.
And then they do.
How do you feel about how are you about the theory that the Flintstones doesn't take place in the past? It's actually a post-apocalyptic future.
It's a post-apocalyptic future that takes place on
Earth while the Jetsons
are up in the
air.
sky. Yes.
Are you a believer? Do you agree with that? How do you feel about that?
No, I don't believe.
You don't believe that?
No, I don't believe that.
All right.
I don't believe you went there. I'm about to end the show.
I know. I know. But Dinosaurs is one of those things where it was sort of ahistorical. Like they have all this stuff and it's supposed to be set in the past, which then made me think of the Flintstones theory.
Can I end the show now?
You can.
All right.
Yabba dabba do.
Oh, this has been special.
We just blew some people's mind with that.
Because a lot of people don't know that theory.
I know, but now some people are like,
The Jetsons. Yes, it's a theory.
right? The Flintstones are a prehistoric show, but in the past, but they have televisions, they have cars, they have toasters, they have vacuum cleaners. Like, how do they have all these modern devices if they're set in the prehistoric past? And the answer is, it's not the past. It's a post-apocalyptic future. And this is trying to do crude imitations of what was going on in the far long, long ago.
Do you know the theory about the Rugrats?
Yes, and I don't like that theory.
You don't like that
I
theory?
don't like dead kid theories. All right, go ahead. All right, that's a great way to end it.
Yes, we'll end it on dead kids.
I don't like the Rugrats theory. Yeah.
Before we talk about what we're going to be watching next week here on the Micheaux Mission, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to like the Micheaux Mission. 2 Men, 1 podcast, every black film ever made. You can go to micheauxmission.com where you can hit swag and check out all of the cool designs that we have available for your download and buying pleasure, because every little shekel from there helps us keep the show free for you. All right. You can also follow the Micheaux Mission on the social media of your choice, Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at Micheaux Mission. You can also subscribe to the Micheaux Mission on YouTube. Become a follower and never miss when we go live or when we put up any of our small videos or short video shorts up on our YouTube channel at Micheaux Mission. The Micheaux Mission has a Facebook group. Check us out there where we have a lot of fun talking with all of our missionary fans. You can email the Micheaux Mission at micheauxmission@gmail.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 215-867-9666. Leave us a voicemail and tell us, because I told him I was going to have a question for him this week, Vincent.
Yes, you did.
You didn't think I was going to remember.
I did think you were going to remember.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh.
I believe in you.
Thank you, Vincent. My question for you, ladies and gentlemen, that I hope that you will please leave us a voicemail for is, we just reviewed Theodore Rex, Whoopi Goldberg's probably her least, the movie that she hates the most, right? We know this, okay? But it's a great kids movie. What is another bad black movie or bad movie in general that you still would show your kids? Let us know. Give us a call, 215-867-9666. That's the question. What bad movie would you still show to your kids? I have one, but I'll tell you next week.
Ooh. A cliffhanger.
Let's call it tease. All right. And the Micheaux Mission is a proud member of The Podglomerate, thepodglomerate.com. They make podcasts work, including this one, which comes to you live every Tuesday night from the Video Content Factory, Philadelphia's premier video podcast palace. Go to videocontentfactory.com and book your session today. You will get, everybody else, Terry. You'll get all the other guys at Video Content Factory, but you can't have Dylan. He's ours. All right.
All right.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, it is my turn.
Yes.
And I think I have a good one for you.
All right.
Because you picked on noted comedian Whoopi Goldberg.
I did.
For this one.
I did.
So I chose a black comedian who was hot in the 80s to 90s to pick on for my selection.
Okay. And that would be?
And that would be Sinbad
Sinbad.
in The Cherokee Kid.
The Cherokee Kid.
Yes. Black Western, Vincent.
Yes, it is.
I know you like black westerns.
I do like black westerns.
And we didn't do black westerns this year.
We did not.
So I'm throwing you a bone
There, OG.
in the month of May.
OG, thank you.
Because I love you.
Yeah. Have you seen this?
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either. I'm actually curious.
I'm very curious.
Yeah.
Because we have to do it.
Because we should be interesting.
It should be interesting, ladies and gentlemen. It should. And stay tuned next week when we announce what people who sign up for our newsletter already know. Our very special 5th week episode of Mother May I.
An extra week. Yay.
You're stupid. All right. Until then, Alan New Mutant is his first time in the chat and watching us live. Hey, Alan, welcome. Welcome to live, man.
Welcome.
All right.
All right.
He's Vincent. I'm Len. And in parting, we say,
We'll see you when it's time to meet again.